Hi y'all, thanks for joining me. We're going to do a little training here on knife safety and some cutting skills, and we hope to have you understand and be a little more safe in the kitchen and also understand a few more techniques so you can get that perfect chop. My name is Nadine and I enjoy cooking, and so in the course of learning and growing as an amateur cook, I've went to different classes on knife safety skills, and then also I've just been doing it in the kitchen. So I hope this is helpful. So the first thing we wanted to go through is over knife safety skills. And knife safety skills include just some basic rules around knife safety that maybe you haven't thought about. So the first one is a sharp knife is a safe knife. So the propensity is to just have our knives go and just keep cutting until they won't cut anymore. But that dull blade on there can actually slip and cause injury because you're using too much force to actually cut the vegetables or whatever you're cutting. So make sure your knife is safe by making sure it is sharp. Make sure your knife is safe by making sure it's sharp. The other thing is to never grab a knife when it's falling. When you are cutting and you lose control, make sure you go back and just let the knife fall. Getting yourself away from the knife is the safest thing. It is our natural propensity when something is falling to actually reach for it, so you want to be counterintuitive and make sure you just have it fall. The other thing is regarding a cutting board, and I'm going to just move this little angle here so you can actually see that I have a cutting board set up here. And when you are cutting, you want to make sure you have that nice hard surface. This is a nice wooden block here that's secure on the table, if there's no give to it, so that creates a stability when we're actually cutting. We don't want something that's going to be wobbly. We don't want to cut just on the counter. We want a nice cutting block there. So make sure you have that. And the other thing is to be mindful. In this segment, we're going to go over to how to hold the knife. So we're going to use this chef's knife for this demonstration. The proper way to hold a chef's knife is to grasp the blade firmly between the pad of the thumb, it's here, and the knuckle of your index finger just in front of the bolster. Curling your remaining around the bottom of the handle. Resist the temptation to extend your index finger along the spine. Don't do that, which makes the knife harder to control and fatigues your hand. So here we go again with the pinch. And you have the two fingers on the side here. You're going to hold that there, and then you're going to just nestle your other two fingers by there. So that's how you're going to hold the knife. When using a chef's knife, it's most efficient and effective to use a rocking motion. To do this, keep the tip of the knife on the cutting board and rock the rear of the knife up and down while sliding the knife forward. This motion allows for a smoother range of movement and more control when cutting and slicing. So let's demonstrate that right now. So we're going to do that with here. I'm going to curl that in. All right, in this segment, we're going to go through the parts of the knife. So this is the point. The point's on the top right there. And then this is the tip of the knife. This here is the cutting edge. That's where we protect our finger. This here is the spine, the heel. So when we're holding the knife properly, that's where we're going to be placing that right there on that end. This is the bolster. Your fingers for support are going to go right behind that around the handle. This is the handle right here. And this is the tang. The tang is right here, the part of the blade that extends into the handle, designed to give the knife its balance. And then right here is the butt. So just to go over that again. Right here is the point of the knife. Right here, point, the tip, the cutting edge. This is the spine. This is the heel, the bolster, the tang right there. This is the handle and the butt. That's the parts of the knife. Different types and styles of knives. Well, there's hundreds of of different knives and styles and everything. Most kitchen tasks can be accomplished with the 3 essential knives, which is the chef knife, the serrated knife, and the paring or the utility knife. When purchasing any knife, it's important to look at several styles, look at the handles and the lengths. The best knife for you is the one that you feel like is an extension of your hand, with a natural feel in the grip, good balance, comfort, and weight. So you want to try different knives out, practice them at the cooking store before you make a purchase. In general, there are 2 broad categories of knives. There's a Western and the Japanese. And so these right here are all the Western knives, and that's the one we're going to focus on in this training. So here, let's go about some of the detail of the benefits of these knives. So the chef knife is an all-purpose kitchen knife, used for the most part for chopping, dicing, mincing, and slicing tasks. They're typical about 6, 8, 10, or 12 inches length. This one right here is the 8 inches, so that are demonstrated here. Which type you choose depends on the weight and the size of knife that you prefer. Like I was talking about, when you're holding it and when you're giving it a sample, which one actually does feel like an extension of your hand. The serrated knife is a knife with a sharp edge and the saw-like teeth. The blade or the serrated the blade of the serrated knife is normally 5 to 10 inches in length. Due to the regular edge, serrated knives are typically sharpened by a professional. Serrated knives with a long blade are used to slice through foods with a hard outer shell or surface, such as a crusty loaf of bread. A serrated knife with a shorter or thinner blade is typically used for slicing small fruits and vegetables. The next one is the knife we're going to look at is the utility knife. A utility knife is a small, lightweight knife with about 4 to 7 inches in length. It is used for many of the same tasks as a paring knife, which is right here. The only difference is it has miscellaneous light cutting tasks such as fruit and vegetables and slicing sandwiches, or is what you would use a utility knife. So you have a difference in the size here on that one. So the paring knife is a small knife with 3 to 4 inches long blade. It works well with delicate tasks such as peeling and coring foods such as apples. The blade is typically thin and narrow and tapers to the end of the point of the tip. Hi, in this segment we're going to go through actually storing the knives and talk a little bit about when you're using them, how to care for them best. So the first thing we have here is just the knives here on display, the different 4 main types that we'd be focusing on for kitchen. There's a lot of different hundreds of different types of knife, but these is a great place to start because it covers all the different main chopping experiences you would be having in the kitchen. So to extend the lifetime of your kitchen knives, always wipe knives clean with a damp towel immediately after use to prevent the discoloration of the blades. Knives are a investment, so we want to protect that. This will also help to prevent foods from hardening on the blades, allowing for ease of cleansing them. Always wash knives by hand to preserve the knife and for safety reasons. You never want to leave a knife inside the sink for safety reasons. Also, if you have different handles out of wood, it would be bad for them, but also just for somebody to grab them, it would present a safety hazard. Also, it's good to store your knives in your wooden block. We have one right here that I'd like to show. So this is a wooden block that we're storing our knives in here from that set. But if a wooden block is not available, what you can do is put it in a sleeve, and you've seen that on different cooking shows where they actually have the sleeves in there. But it is discouraged from actually putting them with other utensils, as you don't want them to hit the other utensils and dull the blade and damage the blade in any way. And also you don't want, in the event of somebody reaching for another utensils, to accidentally grab the knife and cut themselves. So that concludes just going over a little bit about knife safety. So tips to remember is to always wash them by hand. You don't want to throw these investments inside the dishwasher. Never put them in just a sink full of water because of the safety concern, and also depending on the handle, it can actually damage them. right after you use it, you want to have a damp towel, such as that, just to wipe off that food off there to prevent discoloration and also just to prep it better for cleaning.